Hi there folks, time for another Mastertronic review, and this time we're going to look at a game on the MAD branding, and it's called Hero of the Golden Talisman. Let's load it up. Here's your front cover then, and this is one of the first games that was released on the MAD label and has this sort of comic book style packaging. And it's the first one actually I've done with the comic style front cover, if that's the right word. So as you can see, it says Hero of the Golden Talisman, and it's got this comic book style image of a guy punching another guy in the face, the same wise guy, and it says MAD Games at the bottom, and in really small text it says Mastertronic's Added Dimension. As you'll see when the game loads, I don't think this is very representative of the game at all, but there you go, it is there nonetheless. And on the spine we've got the game name again, and that's about it really. And on the back we have some screenshots and some info. An all-action, large-scale arcade adventure in which you'll need every ounce of skill and courage to destroy the forces of evil. Blah blah blah. And you can see there it's made by Sean Southern, who did lots of other Mastertronic games. And there's a strange robot guy there at the bottom as well for some reason, I'm not entirely sure. So let's have a look inside the packaging, and it says the game at the top. For some reason the E's the wrong way around. I don't know what the reason for that was, don't really care. Anyway, so you've got some information about the Golden Talisman, controls, loading instructions, the usual stuff really. And inside we've got this sort of mascot, if you like, for the MAD games, this guy in a sort of detective's outfit, and all the foreign language instructions, and that's about it really. Loading screen's just come up, and it's one of the least spectacular loading screens I've ever seen, I think. There it is. Copyright Mr. Chip Software 1985 at the bottom, and that's all you can say about it really. Okay, so the game's loaded, and as you can see we've got a sort of title screen of kind of a picture of a mountain with a little door in, and as befits most games done by Sean Southern, we've got a scrolling message across the bottom which tells you how to play the game, information about what you're supposed to do, blah blah blah. You can see all the stuff scrolling across, so you don't really need me to tell you. And eventually it will go on to a little bit of info about the things that you need to do to pick stuff up and all that kind of thing. Music's alright. Grates a bit. It's quite tinny and it grates a bit. Eventually that scrolling message does go on to tell you about Sean Southern and various things, but I can't sit here and listen to this for hours on end. So let's get the game started by hitting the space bar, and you get this little intro. And here we are in the game. So this is my little guy, and my first thought was Impossible Mission Guy is back again, having appeared in Kane not so long ago. But when he walks, you'll see the animation's not quite as good as the one for Impossible Mission Guy. He seems to have about 3 frames of animation, but what he does seem to also have is the same footstep sounds as Impossible Mission Guy. Anyway, so it also reminds me a little bit of Hero, the Activision game, with the sort of cave sort of layout. And as you can probably guess, this door thing that's moving up and down is going to drain my strength, so I have to try and run through it when it goes up. There we go, and straight away you fall down into this water. And you can shoot, so I can shoot these things. Got quite a supply of bullets, and you can rack up a score that way, but your health is going down while you're underwater. You can see my strength's gone down to 95. So I'll climb back up the rope. The way he jumps is rather peculiar, to say the least. I'm guessing that fruit thing there's some extra health, so I probably don't really need to get that yet. I'll save that for when my health's a bit lower. But the most annoying thing I've found so far is when you fall down, you can't control where you're going. So you just fall straight to the bottom every time. As soon as you hit the water, you just keep sinking until you hit the bottom. When you don't die, I suppose it's a good thing. But this will demonstrate why this becomes a problem later on. Okay, so there's a lamp there, so pick that up. Use that later, I guess, that candle. If you miss time, you know, I've actually done it alright. Well, you'll see what happens when you miss time and jump sooner or later. Okay, so I'll keep moving. He climbs so slowly. The climbing is just painful. And there's a red key, which is going to come in useful later, you would think. Grab that as well. He does some interesting rebounding off the edges of the landscape, this guy. He's almost like a rubber ball. Let's get that fruit now, because right, I'm not quite sure where to go now. Let's go back across here. Nope. This is what I mean, when you fall right down to the bottom, you just get sort of... Right, okay, there's the red gate. Now this is strange to me. I'm at the surface of the water, but you can't get out. It's just ridiculous. You're just like stuck under the water. The only place you can get out is where there's a rope to climb, or a ladder, which is a bit strange. Also, the respawning enemies is a bit annoying, even though you can rack up points with them. So to get out of this, then I'm going to have to go. Is that right? This is the thing that I was talking about. When you miss time, you jump. You just go bouncing off the landscape and plummet back to the bottom of the water. So that is a bit annoying. So after several attempts to try and jump over those pools of water, I finally made it to the red door. Oh, bounced off, and what you're going to do is press space to move the item you need to use into this yellow square. Open the door and you move on to the next stage, which is completely dark. Well, I have a candle, I wonder if that'll help in any way. There we go, put the lights on. As I say, the respawn enemies a bit annoying. Get out of the way of those guys for a bit. What you can see on the left hand side here is a rather large grid, and the top left corner, which is where I started, is now colored in blue, which I assume means it's completed. The red ones are where I am at the moment, so it's kind of a map of sorts. Oh, there we go with the bouncing again, and look at this, bounce, bounce all the way to the bottom. Really annoying. This air means you can swim around underwater without losing any health, which is obviously quite useful. So we get hold of that, and down I plummet into the water again. If you watch now, the strength doesn't go down, but the air goes down instead. I want to wander through the caves. And here I've discovered a dragon. Ooh. And you just have to keep shooting and plugging away at the dragon, trying to jump over his fireballs, which is easier said than done. And eventually what you'll see with the dragon is he starts to shrink. It takes a lot of hits to kill this dragon. And in the meantime I'm losing a lot of health. But he is starting to shrink. Handy that you can hold the fire button down to unleash your... There we go, he's gone. And he's replaced by these guys instead, which is rather annoying. Moving on in the game a little bit, and I've now picked up a green key, as you can see on my item inventory thing. Having explored the level a bit further, I've got to get into this bit here. And it seems the only way to do that is to jump from this level above and try and time the jump right. So this could take a while. Let's give it a go. With this strange control mechanism. Oh, done it first time. Amazing. I was expecting to be rebounding all over the place there. Okay, so now what? I guess I fall down here. Oh no, oh I've got to do it again, have I? Unless this thing gets me in here somehow. No. Oh no, what's that doing? Oh. This seems, the flag that I've just picked up seems to be a different kind of weapon. I don't know what benefit that gives me over the other one, because it's just firing bullets, they're just making a different sound. So I'll just store that away for now. Right, so I've got to do this diagonal jumping thing twice then. And you have to go all the way back to this point. So let's give it another go. So somehow here I've got to... This could take ages. Oh, that's just impossible. How on earth am I going to do that? Ah, I know. I think I've got an idea. So I'm back here again, and my theory is that I've actually got to jump from this screen. So I'm going to give that a go. Oh, I'm going to try to. Jumping in a diagonal from a standing position is really difficult. Here we go. Oh, it was so close. I think the principle's there. I've just got to get in the right place. Okay, so here I go again. Hooray! Let's hope I never have to go back through there again. So I suppose I better talk about the game. Oh, it's a yellow key which I don't have. Okay, better talk about the game a little bit. Graphics are pretty nice. The animation's a bit flaky. I guess he just ran out of memory for extra frames of animation. The control of the player is really difficult. Making him jump, especially in diagonals, is really hard, and you end up falling off ledges and plummeting down into the water over and over and over again. Sounds, that's an easy key to find. Sounds are pretty basic within the game, although the music's not too bad. Let's just have a boing down the screen here. There we go. So there's my yellow key, and another section of the level completed. Oh, I'm in the dark again now. Oh, with new enemies. So yeah, the sound effects are a bit naff. The game itself, once you get used to the controls, which do seriously take some getting used to. Here we go again with a plummet. Oh my god. The game's pretty good. I mean, you know, you're getting quite a lot of game for your $2.99 here, based on the size of this map at least. Enemy graphics are a bit naff. I like the animation of him swimming though. I don't think I've ever seen someone doing underwater breaststroke before, so that's kind of cool. The respawning enemies are a little bit annoying, but that's just, I suppose, to hinder your progress and make the game last a bit longer. But overall, it's quite a nice game. One of those games that you could imagine playing for quite a length of time to try and get further on each attempt. Here's a candle which will allow me to see in the dark again, that early part of the level, if I could pick the damn thing up. There's a lot of pixel perfect jumping and coordination required. That's the biggest criticism, I think. It's not very forgiving in that respect. Let's just get the light on here, and here we go again. Oh, dragon time again. There does seem to be a strategy to these dragons. They seem to fire the fireballs in a certain way, but my energy is getting a bit low and I might not survive this. So I'll sum up by saying, yeah, it's definitely worth $2.99. It's a quite cool adventure game. It's got a few control issues and the graphics are a bit hit and miss at times, but overall it's a pretty good stuff. And with 2 health left, I think I'm not going to be lasting much longer. And there you go. I've turned into a little ghost and I'm dead. But not a bad game, so definitely one to check out if you're looking for something with a bit more longevity than a lot of the early Mastertronic games. So yeah, give it a go.